What is up, guys? John Whitley here from Whitley Auto Works. You guys have seen me over the past couple of years paint many offenders, showcasing different color combinations with pearls, flakes, candy, automotive paint, rustoleum paint, a little bit of everything, guys. And I've always been 100% transparent with you guys, trying to show you guys how to get more expensive looking paint jobs at a fraction of the cost, and how to save money using different products that have come out onto the market, and just having fun learning custom paint together. That's kind of been what my channel is all about. However, this year has been a very weird one, guys. Electric spray guns have actually started being taken serious in automotive paint shops. That's crazy. Let's talk about it. So never did I think I would see the day that an automotive painter in a production shop would be using an electric spray gun and talking about how you can get quality results out of it and selling it out. But that has happened this year, guys. It's been really crazy seeing it, and a lot of us YouTubers have gone down the rabbit hole showcasing different electric spray guns, trying out different things. The companies have been wearing us out with show this product and show that product, and we've all been doing it, guys, and trying to get the best possible results to help you guys save money, to tackle your do-it-yourself projects at home. And, we're all trying to be helpful in our own ways and our own rights, but, we're also trying to, push the best product that's out there. And, sometimes egos get involved with stuff like that, and people have different opinions and whatnot. But today, I'm going to give you mine. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on all the electric spray guns I've tried, because you guys have asked me what I thought was the best option, what I like, what I don't like, and just what to look out for when buying an electric spray gun. So let's get into it. So, obviously, I got to start at the beginning, guys. The one I reviewed before any other ones. The $10 cheap, no-name brand electric Amazon spray gun. Guys, stay away from those guns. They are not good, especially if it has one fundamental flaw that I know I'm going to break a lot of people's hearts, but it's just not there yet, and that's the battery-powered electric spray guns. Guys, they are very inconsistent. The motors don't run well on the batteries. They start to crap out. They spit. They spatter, and, it's just not there yet. I'm sorry, it ain't. And so I would definitely stay away from any battery-powered guns. The only guns I recommend as of right now are the corded guns, guys. They give consistent power to those little motors, and, you can get great results with them. Now, the next gun I have to mention is the Hachika gun. It's the one that went viral earlier this year. A couple YouTubers did it, and 2 or 3 YouTubers into it, one YouTuber took off, and it went viral, guys. And the company had reached out to a bunch of us, but, it was sold out the time I got around to it. So I started going down the rabbit hole, doing my own research and seeing, is it the best gun? Is there a better option? And then I come across the PHALANX gun, guys. The company reached out to me. They said, hey, I think this is a better option. You want to try it out? They sent it out, and the rest is history. I tried it out as well as some other YouTubers. We compared the PHALANX to the Hachika, and the PHALANX it won, guys. It is still a siphon feed gun, which is, I'll get into that in a few, but, they're a little bit different animal if you're used to gravity-fed type guns, as far as, making sure you hold it at a certain angle, making sure the tube has adequate fluid and everything else. So a lot of that stuff plays a big factor into the guns working well, period. However, there are some differences between guns like the PHALANX and the Hachika that you want to look out for that are going to make it a better, more viable option. Now, the price point on the Hachika as of right now has rose because of its popularity. The PHALANX is actually a little bit cheaper than the Hachika right now, and I'll tell you why I think the PHALANX might be a better option than the Hachika. And that's just my opinion, but based off of beginner painters getting out there, trying stuff for the first time, and having the ability to take out the gun and really dial it in and get great results. Now, obviously the more adjustments it has, the more possibilities of things to go wrong, but the more possibilities of things to go right. And there are certain other things that are just flat out out deal breakers, the reason I think the PHALANX is better than Hachika. The number one is it has filters built into it to protect the motor from overheating or sucking paint in or whatever. The Hachika, as from what I've seen, does not have that, guys. So that's one thing to be mindful of and look out for when you're buying an electric spray gun. Another thing is the adjustments. The Hachika, the only adjustment I see it having right now is the trigger adjustment. I wish it had more adjustments. Heck, I wish they were all gravity-fed models because that would be great. But they're not, and at the price point, you really can't complain as of right now. It does have a power regulator adjustment on the PHALANX gun, however. That's another thing the Hachika gun doesn't have. Between that power adjustment setting and the trigger adjustment setting and the filters, you can really dial it in, get great results, run it longer than some of the other guns without fear of it sucking in too much paint or overheating as quickly. And, just all around, that makes it a better product. And like I said, as of right now, it's a little bit cheaper. So why wouldn't you go for something like that? So that's my thoughts and opinion on that. Now, of course, there's many other guns in the same category. There's some with hoses, detached turbine units, other gimmicks as well. But the PHALANX gun, from what I've seen, from watching myself and other YouTubers test out guns, it's the best, most reliable one as of right now when it comes to being at that price point. That brings me to the next one we're going to talk about, which is a substantial jump up, but I think it's probably the best possible option getting into electric painting. So obviously the gun I'm talking about is the WAGNER FLEXIO 4300 with the gravity fed attachment, guys. Now this product, like I said, the other gun, the PHALANX gun, is just under $50. This one is just over $200. So a substantial jump in price, but is it worth it? Is it the better of the two guns? Well, at that price point, you can already pretty much tell it's probably going to be a little bit better. But I'm going to tell you what I think about it, why I think it's better, and is it better given all situations, should you get that one instead of the PHALANX? Not necessarily, but let's go through the WAGNER first. So like I said, it's two guns in one, guys. It's a siphon style gun, much like the PHALANX and like the Hachika, but it comes with a gravity fed attachment, guys, which makes all the difference, sets it completely apart. That gravity fed attachment allows you to really dial things in that much more. The thought process when WAGNER did that gun was the siphon gun is for the big areas of projects, and then say you want to paint inside of a cabinet, you throw on that gravity fed attachment and you can really dial everything in and get into those hard to reach areas and paint. Well, like I said, me and other YouTubers saw that, and we saw an opening, guys, and said, hey, let's take it and let's run with it, and let's see, can we use it for automotive applications because it's gravity fed. And it did work, guys. It's much better paint flow out. If you're holding it upside down, you don't have to worry about the siphon tube, doing crazy mess and sucking up air or whatever else compared to some of the other guns. So it's just a more familiar style. And like I said, you can really dial it in. It has that same power adjustment that the PHALANX does, and you can dial it in on the trigger as well. And it manages the paint a little bit better than the PHALANX, a little less overspray than the PHALANX, which the PHALANX doesn't have much overspray at all, but it is a little bit better, so I have to note that. And just ease of use when it comes to dialing it in and being familiar with it. I think that the electric spray gun WAGNER is going to be a little bit better option than the PHALANX gun, but like I said, the price point is quite a bit more. So it's one of those things, guys, if you're just going to use it for a few projects and then put it down and maybe use it every now and then, the PHALANX gun at the price point would be a great investment. And can you get the job done with it if you don't have $200+ to spend on an electric spray gun setup? Because most people are looking at this stuff because they don't have that much money. I would highly suggest the PHALANX gun. You can get just as good results as you can with the WAGNER gun. You can really dial it in. You do have to get used to the fact that it's a siphon gun, but it's the same thing with the Hachika. So, at that price point and at that level, it's a great option. However, if you want to step up to something like the WAGNER and, it's more user-friendly overall. It gives you the ability to really dial things in and get great results. And I highly recommend between the two, if you have the money to spend, then go check out that Wagner. And I'll have links to both in the description so you can check it out. Now, it's more comparable to like the $500, $600 Fuji guns, which are really comparable to a full-on serious HVLP setup. But at $500, $600, you know, then you're really getting up there and you're getting close to really nice compressor territory. And then it just really comes down to, with the Fuji gun, it's more of a mobile setup to where, you know, if you're looking for a shop setup with the air compressor and everything else, then, you know, you have to weigh the pros and cons of that. But when it comes to the PHALANX versus the WAGNER, obviously the WAGNER is the true winner. But at the price point it's at, if you just need something to get you by, the PHALANX can do the job as well. There are just certain things that you've got your, you know, sacrificing for because of the cost. And the gravity fed attachment is really the main thing, and just the ease of use of that. So really, that's where I'm at with it, guys. Like I said, there's many options out there. They're all the time coming out with new products. My conclusion with all of this, guys, is I really hope that moving forward, some of these companies like Chica, PHALANX, even Wagner will come up with more affordable gravity fed options for less than $100. I think that would help everybody out tremendously, and, you know, come up with some kind of cooling or on the motors and stuff like that. That way they don't overheat over time, because that has always been a worry for anybody using electric products, is those motors getting heated, and then God forbid you're 3 or 4 different coats and everything into your paint job and you start having issues. So I always recommend people, if you can, break up your projects if you're using electric spray guns. But I have seen people do whole cars with them and be just fine. So, you know, it's just one of those disclaimers I have to throw out there, and that the companies always try and get me to throw out there. So that's my thoughts and opinions. What are your thoughts and opinions from what you've seen me do video-wise and other YouTubers and everything else? You're not going to hurt my feelings, guys. Like I said, it's simply that. It's just my opinion and the research I've done and experiences I've had being, you know, a cheap do-it-yourself painter with spray cans all the way up to a full-on automotive paint job doing insurance and restoration work for people. I've done a little bit of everything, guys, and, you know, that's just where I'm at with it, guys. So, like I said, leave me a quick comment. Let me know what you thought. Which one do you prefer? And, yeah, that's going to be it till next time, guys. I'm John from Whitley Auto Works. I hope you guys have a great day. God bless, and I'll see you guys on the next one.